Well, good afternoon everybody, it's Richard here and this is episode 14 of Truck Camper Life UK. And this afternoon I'm going to talk to you about a few things and show you a few things as well. But I thought I'd start off by saying thank you very much for all those who enjoyed and watched subscribers for the Montgomery Cannel episode, which I posted 10 days ago, or about thereabouts when this video is uploaded. And I had a really lovely time, and I thought this afternoon I would do a bit of reflection on how that trip went and other things that I found about the truck camper that have really helped, and any improvements I want to make going forward. So I thought we'd talk about those two things this afternoon. Lessons learnt, or as I like to say in the industry I work in, lessons learning. Which is quite interesting, isn't it, at the moment, especially the political agenda at the moment with certain individuals. So I'm going to kick off with the lessons learned. And the first thing is that when I tried to work out the amount of water that I needed in my truck camper for the trip, I worked out the amount of gallons. I think it takes about, what is it? I'm just looking across there because I've got a label on the window there, which says, I think it's 48 gallons it takes of water when I measured the buckets individually that were going in. And it turned out I ran out of water. I ran out of water by day 4, I think it was. So the day before I came home, I'd run out of water, and I was quite careful how much water I used. For example, when I was cleaning my teeth, I used my mug and toothbrush, sloshed my mouth out, and then rinsed my mouth, and then didn't run the tap, doing those sort of things that you would do to conserve water. The other thing was that when I shaved in a mug, which is quite a small blue mug. You might have seen that in the distance before. So I wasn't using a lot of water. I did wash my face in a small amount of water in the bowl from the kettle. I always boiled the kettle up, so I always use the water from the kettle. And I don't know why I ran out of water, whether I'd underestimated the amount of flow, because it's very difficult without a flow meter. I timed it. So I put in, with the flow from my garden hose into the back of the camper van, into the water port that is, I did 4 minutes and thought that would be sufficient, because I'd counted 4 minutes with buckets using a stopwatch. But clearly that's not enough. So when I do the next trip, which I'm going to talk to you about, oh yes, I was add that to my list. The next trip's coming up very soon. I will make sure that I time it slightly longer, it's probably for 5 minutes, and see what happens. I had supplementary water with me. I had some large 2-litre bottles of water, or 4-litre bottles from Waitrose, which I filled at a tap. And you remember that we had that lovely bougie bathroom, so that had an outside tap attached to it, so I used that. But I was surprised how much water. I know I drink a lot of tea, but I don't think that was accounting for it. I think it was a miscalculation on my part. I think it was. And Mike Brown from the Truck Campers group that I'm part of gave me some advice about not letting it overflow too much, because you could wet the bottom and it could rot the marine ply that this is made of. So I was very cautious of that. Thank you for that, Mike. So that was one lesson. I mean, I managed, so we were out during the day. I wasn't using water. I was having drinks of tea and coffee from the site there. The actual event itself was fantastic. I really learnt a lot, and I met some amazing people, and they're doing very well. Would I repeat go back? I think not. It's probably with the group I was with, Outdoor Lads. I probably wouldn't go back. It was a one-off for me, and I enjoyed the company. We had a lovely time, as you saw from all the clips. And special thanks go to the guys who did the filming, and I mentioned them in the comments below on the last video. So Rob, for example, and the other guys there that did the filming. So thank you for their clips, along with my own that I put in there, which helped make the video really interesting, I thought. And yeah, even Mike Brown said he thought it was interesting. But the other thing is I did make a typo, and that was the date. It was 20, I put 25, and in fact it's 26. Once I've uploaded the video, unless I'm going to do the whole lot again on the editing suite, you've got to go around and start again. So I haven't done that, but I did manage to mention it in the narrative. Just remember, I'm not perfect, and nor do I propose to be. So I do make mistakes occasionally, and I know that you're very good about picking those up with me and telling me, which is great. I don't mind that. I don't mind all the criticism in the world, as long as it's constructive and not just for the sake of it. And yeah, and I know some of my viewers like to do that. That is great, and they pay me lots of compliments as well. So on balance, that's fine. And I do the same with other viewers that I watch on YouTube, because I'm a great avid YouTube watcher. Watch more YouTube than I do any other form of channel, certainly the other terrestrial channels, as they used to be called. So I watch streaming channels quite a lot. So yeah, the actual event was great. The venue where I stayed was absolutely amazing. As you see, the bougie bathroom was great. The horse box, I really enjoyed that. Was there any other things that came to light? No, I don't think. I was really warm. This bed is really warm and comfortable. And this environment that I'm in is amazing. I really love it. And yeah, and I've been doing some more upgrades, which I'm going to talk to you about shortly. More learning, actually. Today's a nice day. It is 20 degrees in here. Yeah, it's 20 degrees. I got myself a new weather station as well, which I'll show you at some point. But the actual thermometer is actually giving me the same temperature. The new weather station does in and out, does inside and outside. So I've done that, and so that's quite good. It's a cool 20.7 degrees today, and 11 outside. 71% of humidity. Interesting. So yes, let me just do that for you. I can show you the new weather station, which is this one here. And if you're very clever, you can press this button and it will then, you can see that, there we go, there he is. Yeah, it's quite good there. I bought that on Amazon, and I'll put a link to what I can do for all of my purchases, but it's quite nice. It has a Wi-Fi that connects to the outside little sensor, which you can either stick on the outside of the camper van, which I've done with some magnetic clips, or at the moment it's in the little cubby hole outside, which I'm going to talk to you about as well. So, it took me a good 5 hours to come home. I didn't rush, and the truck actually acted very well, and I stopped off twice on the way back at some service stations, which you would have seen in the video, and yeah, and had no trouble at all. Parked in the truck area or camper van area, or just in the normal car space when they said no one challenged me about that, so that was fine. Made sure it was all well locked up and that, so that was quite good. So yeah, and I learned a bit of lesson from that, if you like. So yes, so the water tank. I need to put some shelving in the cupboard that's directly opposite me. That's to my right. There is hanging space in there, but I'm going to put some shelving so I can just lay things on there. Did I have enough clothing? Yes, I did. Was there enough for wet stuff? There was, but I did use the bougie horse box for that, and that helped. Certainly I always make provision for wet stuff anyway, and I took more than I needed, walking boots and so forth, but they provided all the equipment you need, just I provide the waterproofs, which you saw in the video. The other thing was fuel prices. As the time I went, Max, this is the truck I'm in, he had half a tank, and I filled the other half with diesel, just regular diesel, no special stuff, and it was £105 for 40 litres of regular diesel. Coming back, I put £80 in, to come home, and I've still got some of that in the tank now. Flawless, drove flawlessly, and that was really good. So the work that Craig from CCM Mobile Mechanic had done a really lot of good job. The new pulley system worked all right on the water pump. The new brakes on the front worked very well. They've well bedded in. And all the other little bits he did on that one. So yeah, that was very, very good. So overall, it was a successful trip, and has spurred me on to do more improvements in here, in this environment. and also in the truck itself, and also what's coming up. So what is coming up? Well, coming up, we've got new locks for the camper. That's the back of the camper van. I sourced one of those on Amazon. Quite expensive, but worth getting. And there's going to be some clips coming up about that, whole video about that. It's important because the door has got a good lock on it, but you could, I understand you can bump it maybe and open it. So this one fits right across and is held in with 4 very sturdy bolts through the bulkhead, the back of the bulkhead, with a plate on the back. And I'll show you that. I've got that video coming up, as that's a very good seal. The other thing is that I've had the bottom of the camper truck part all de-rusted. Not that there was a great deal there. You'd be surprised how much it weighed though when I get to that far. But also I've had it. It's a company called Belt Hammer who provide this undersealing, and it's very, very good. It's one of the top ones that you can get now. It outweighs Waxel apparently, and Lenagard particularly. And I had a chap from Jason from the Rust Doctor, he's called, and I'll put his link below, because he's really good. He's only just started up this business. He spent the whole day here. The noise was amazing when he's using one of these nail gun type drills to get all the old rust off. Don't forget, this vehicle had been wax-soled on my request when I purchased it, but now it's really good underneath. And then the man was so good. There was one place where he put his jack that he couldn't get to. He sent me a can of the very stuff itself, which I've done myself, and I've used it in another few places around the front engine bay and that. So it's one of the best. All my vehicles are undersealed, and even Sunshine, who is now back with us, by the way. So if anyone's interested in a 1979 T2 camper van, he's up for sale at a reduced price of $26,000 now, from 28. So drop me a line, or if you know anybody that is interested, let me know, and I'm open to 26,000 or near offer. But he's been back to the garage, had his oil seal sorted out, new engine, loads of new parts. I'll do a whole video about him for the sale part of it, but yeah, he's ready to go for the summer. So if you're interested, then let me know on that one. So yes, so what I've also done since I last spoke to you is, apart from the undersealing and new lock, also I've done the storage area. Now you know that I don't use the toilet, I use it as a closet, literally as a closet, and I've taken the cassette thing out of that and packed that away safely, and I'm now using that outside locker for storage for a hose I've got. I've got a hose that I can take with me. It's one of those, I believe it or not, a lot of the stuff I'm buying I actually find in charity shops brand new, unused. So I found a very nice flexible hose, one of those that shrinks and goes longer, and I got that for £3. And so I put that, comes new in box, in its own bag, is now in the what I call the toilet locker. Also, I've got some nice new lighting as well for the outside. I had one light outside at the back, which you may have seen. I'm going to use it on the front of the van because it's magnetic, has a magnetic attachment. And now I've got some nice strong LEDs I'm going to use on the back and also on the sides of the vehicle. These are PIR adjusted, so they only come on when somebody approaches, which is quite good, so it won't disturb people too much, but I might not need them if there's a lighted area. So the other thing is, I bought some T-cut, and I've started T-cutting Max the front end of the truck. There is some environmental damage to the bodywork in terms of the paint is fading, and I'm seriously thinking about putting a wrap over that front bonnet in red, which will cover that, and then I've got some nice Dysols I'm thinking of using, but that's to come up for the future. I've got too much on. I've been working very, very hard the last two or 3 weeks since I've been back with my day job, as it were. So I haven't been able to spend much time. This afternoon is the first time I managed to get here and do some stuff with your good selves. Also on the back part of the camper. I was worried about the water egress or water rotting the bottom part of the camper, and so I've now found some guttering that you can stick on. I had some originally there myself, but I found some more, which is what they call J guttering, which will take the water well away from any dripping underneath. It's only the back part that seems to have that problem, and so that's now drying out very nice. So there is no rot in this vehicle, but it keeps that away, and you have to look after the shell of these truck campers like you would a caravan, I suppose, in that respect. So I've also been using some stuff to clean the alloy wheels, and now we're allowed in Kent to use a hose pipe. I've got my Karcher pressure washer out, and I've been doing that as well a few times. That's taken a while. I just need to put some touch-up paint on those bits before my next trip. So yes, and the trip coming up, yes. I'm going down to the coast. I'm going down to a place near Folkestone called Sandgate, which is a little village, I suppose. I should call it a town, really. It's a town. Officially, it's a town. And my parents live down there, so I'm going to go and stay on the seafront, which you can do. There's no restrictions on parking on the seafront. And I'm going to stay there for a few days, and I'm going to take you along with me. So it should be good. I'm going to explore some of the shops down there, plenty of charity shops down there and other bits in Hythe, where I used to be, which is my hometown, until my parents moved many years ago. So I should go and see Mum and Dad. I should go and have a good time. Mum's 90 now, as you know from one of the videos you've been following along. And also Dad's in his late 80s, and they're in good health, but obviously finding it they're more frail now. So so yes. So yeah, you saw the celebration we had for Mum's birthday and 90th. So looking forward to that, and they're looking forward to seeing me as well. So I'll be taking you along down there. The seafront is really nice. So you can look right out onto the Dungeness, and I'm taking my bike, so I'll be able to pedal down to Hythe, which is about 5 miles. No, is it 3 or 4 miles on the coast? And yeah, we used to live on the seafront when I was small. So all good stuff. So yeah, so there are a few things coming up. Yes, so without further ado, let's get back to the video. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also thank you very much for all those people who subscribed to the last video, and I hope everyone's enjoying this. If there's any suggestions you want to make for future videos, then so forth, do come along and let me know, and lots of trips coming up as well. But until then, let's get back to the video, as I say. So one of the things I wanted to do was find something to have as a headboard, and I found this beautiful padded pitcher in my local Bernardo's charity shop, so I fitted it on the wall, but which was quite challenging to say the least, because it had to be obviously straight. I made sure I got it in the centre, where the centre piece is there. You can just about see the line where the join is in the fabric, the wall fabric. I used these blocks that I had kicking around in my workshop that I used from some cabinet making years ago, and I've used 3 of those, and getting them in the right place was quite challenging. So in the end I used some Phillips screws rather than these screws, because it screws into the block and then you have to line that up. So I put 3 on, 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom. But I think it looks really nice, and if you stand back, there we go, it does look extremely good. So yes, along with the lamps either side and the little shelf there I put in there a while ago, and also the level, I put that level up, though it's not level where the van is standing here. So yeah, all in all, it is really good. I quite like that. So that's one improvement I've made. I think actually, let me just check where this came, because I got it, oh here we are, there was a card that came with it, which is known as buttonhole, is it? And there's a website on here, Susan Whitehead, and this is handmade gifts for home homemade with love. There we go. So yeah, I'll put the details on the below if you're anybody interested. I don't know how old this is, but it was fully wrapped up and still in its cellophane, which I've done. And I quite like the Labrador dogs on there. I like Labradors, so that goes well. So yes, so excellent news. That's good. That's good. Another good improvement. The other thing is I got this very nice picture, which I found in my charity shop. Also, this is about £4.50. There we go. And so, oops, sorry, fingers in the way there. So yes, so that is a picture of what's it called? I can't see from my eyesight here, but you can see from there. And it's a print, but it's very good inside that frame. So I've done that. That's good. And then the best bit of all was a picture I took last year when I went to Brownsea Island. And so I've run this off onto photographic paper and then backed it, and I put this on the wall. This is of Brownsea Island. It's the estuary there where I stayed over a weekend with Outdoor Lads, and this Wayfarer, that's what the boat's called, was abandoned on the beach, and I just thought this picture of the boat in the foreground and then the boat in the estuary was really good. So I think that's just nice. And I've got one framed in my office, which I've also got a surround. So I've used a bit of this fibre type board stuff here that James had with a project when he was at college, and still kicking around. So I think that's quite nice as well. So there's two things that have happened in the last couple of weeks. So this is the locker that the cassette goes in for the toilet. What I've done, I've taken the cassette out, cleaned it all out in there, put the cassette in a safe place. It sort of pulls out. And then I'm using this now to put my short line in here, which is the short line I bought recently. You can see in there, there's quite a big space. I'm using that. And then also I'm keeping this is the outside light, which is this one, which is very, very nice. That's solar run, so I can put that on the front of the vehicle. And also the other ones that I've got, so we'll examine those and show you how it works. So the guttering I mentioned is this guttering that goes here, this J made of silicone, and you can see the dirty water is running there, and that keeps the water off the bottom where the laminate and the wood meet. And I found that's been quite effective, because the water that runs down the back here, along here, and then off the end, rather than where the woodwork is underneath. And it seems to be drying out. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's drying out very well now. So I'm hoping will keep that water away, as you can see. So there we are. So that's good, and very successful. It costs pence on Amazon. I'll put the link there, but it's what they call J guttering. I might put some down the side over the cab, the truck cab. So when it's raining, you open the cab door, don't get a shower, as it were. So one of the things I have been contemplating quite carefully, and I've spoken to the Demounter camper group, and Mike Brown has given me some really good advice, is about security. Now, the camper has a lock here, which is quite good, but I have decided to invest in an extra set of locks, which I'm going to fit this afternoon. Because as Mike very well said, if you go to a service station, you never know, people can bump open the door or whatever. I hope that doesn't happen. And no matter what you do, even if you hit an alarm, people don't always come round anyway, and then they think they're the perpetrator. So I take that advice on the chin, as read, basically. So this afternoon I'm going to fit a new, excuse the music, a new lock by Melinco. I think about that, Melinco. And you can see from the picture here what it looks like, so I'm going to do that. And there is already a hole in the side of the back end, which must have been for something fitted already. You can see that. There are those two studs. Oops. There and there. Also there's a plate down here, which you might be able to see. Where has it gone? There. So yes, so let's see what they come up with basically, and have a look. So I've got a 10mm socket with my socket set. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see what the ones are in the actual kit themselves. I'll get my shoes out of the way of that. That one, and this one. I was hoping I can possibly use these holes, or one of them anyway, just to see whether they could fit in there the same thing. That will be really helpful, but they're not the same spacing, so I can't use the same holes. I'm always a bit against drilling holes in sides of these vehicles, you know. So yeah, so is it going to go through? It might not. It may not go through. Not sure it will. Oh, the plate's come off. There we go. The plate's off. So I'll just give it a little tap with a rubber hammer. So I've used the famous persuader, and with a peat block of wood, I have to hasten to add, so I don't damage the end of the screws, the end of the nuts there, or where the screws go on the nuts. And these will now come out, which will give me an idea about the length actually. Unfortunately, the number plate is in the wrong place to where it's got to be fitted, so I'm going to have to come a bit. This has got to come off and then go back on again, because it's in the wrong place now, because it comes about there. So I'm going to remove that and then put it higher probably. Well, that was easy because it's come off in one bit. There we go. So I can now make the holes where I want them. Brilliant. So there we go. I've taken the number plate off. You don't need to, so I've just taken that one off, and I'll clean all this up, and then I can then put the bolts here, as the template will do that. Go through this bit as well. It should be okay. So yeah, I'll come back to you. As a matter of interest, I've been interested to know what these bolts would have been originally used for, and this plate here. I suspect possibly a ladder to the top, but I'd be interested to know what people think of that. So it might be an idea that, you know, something from before maybe, or something that Ranger campers put on there, but I have no idea. Anyway, the hole's going to come in handy. So I'm getting there. It's coming off slowly. I'm using some service oil, which is like switch cleaner, but it's spirit based, and it's quite good for removing this. So yeah, and just work at it slowly and then see what happens. So it's been an interesting afternoon so far, because I have discovered that the screws that fit into this lock, if they go too far in, Let's just get one, I'll show you. If they go too far in, they then foul the whole mechanism. So the ones that were in there with the other the blanking plate, somebody had sawn off the end so that they actually sat flush. I'll show you that in a minute. But this one is too long. So if it goes in this, so for example, you'll screw it through the wall, which is there, it's just a test. It will then foul, I can't think I can do it one hand. It will then foul the slide, which you can see there, it just goes through. So therefore, what I've decided to do, and it seems to be working at the moment, is build up this side with some washers. I've got 3 here. 4, was it 3? 3 washers on there. I probably could do with just 3 actually. But then of course I had a problem this side, because then when the door was closed, it caught the rub seal on the door because it wasn't out far enough. So now I've put a small tension washer there, splint ring washer. I'm hoping that that's going to work. So let's try that out now. So ignore the rubber bit, that will go behind this, so don't worry about that. So we've now got 2 washers here. Ignore the radio, I hope that. And then if I shut the door, that goes across, and then you push that in and it seals it. I'm not going to do it because I've got the keys. So yes, so there we go, like that. So that will be tidied up, and that will do very well. There we are. I'll show you when I get to the completion stage. So I've made the second hole using a 6.5 size drill with my trusted Bosch. So there we go there, so that should be fine. Let's see what that's like. So a bit flicky, but I'm going to do 2 things this afternoon. This is the Malenko lock that I've been discussing. I'm going to oil this central part here with some light graphite type oil, so that it doesn't seize up at any point. Oh, don't want that, do we? Also, because you've got to raise this slightly so it just closes, I've managed to find this foamy stuff, which is basically an old mouse mat, amongst my many bits and pieces. Also this one here, which was a Harry Potter one, which is thinner, and then I've got these 2 bits here of the same stuff, so I might be able to make something out of that, and then see whether that raises it enough and gives it a padding, so on the outside the camper. So I'm going to do that now and then come back to you. The other bit, the hole I have sealed, is sealed up now with some translucent mastic, which I think is that the one type of thing, translucent? Yeah, it's like this, yeah, silicone sealant like that. So, and now the weather's getting better, it's nearly 15 degrees, it will actually come out the end of the tube better. Okay, be back soon. So excuse the flick again. Right, I've made a little gasket up. This one, bit of mouse mat, which is just the right, and I've tried it on the camper and it works perfectly. So it's just enough distance for this, when you tighten it up, that it will actually pad out and also raise up, allow the slider to slide over and form a seal. So that's good. So I used a bit of gaffer tape. I think this one's called, oops, what's this called, this one? What it's called now? Trick tape or something. I'll acquire that from somewhere. But yes, there we go. There we are. Another job done there. We'll try it on the van in a second. So we are all complete, and there we go. I'll put a bit of padding here. I might leave that or cut it back with a Stanley knife. I'll put some mastic around the sides here, so it's sealed nicely, and all the screws are sealed in. No water can get in there. There we go. There we go. Yeah. There we are. So we go. And it misses the door. There we go. Right across there. Brilliant. So fantastic. So yeah, slight compromising with some of the arrangements with it, but I think overall that's better than, that's certainly better. Feel more safer now, and yeah, it's good. So, and then inside, is the radio is just on here a bit. There we go. Put the cover on there, and I just need to clean the wall off a bit. So yeah, another good job done. Good. Look forward to your comments and any suggestions at all. I'd be welcome. There we are, completed. And I've cut the top off that, resealed it with some translucent mastic all round, and ready to go, ready to lock up. Let's do it. There we are, all locked and sealed. There we go.
Here we go, here's an before of this beautiful Hilux. Look at that, amazing. With a camper on the top there, beautiful. So it's been already wax oiled, not very well, and it's coming away a bit. And if we have a little look, we can see that the wax oil, the previous wax oil is flaking away, it's not adhering at all. So we have to do a lot of work to remove all of this. And in some places there's quite thick rust. So yeah, we need to get down to a solid surface, which we will. And this is the back, so let me do another after of the, oh sorry, but before the middle part. Here's another before. Here we are. And solid enough metal, but obviously it's just been coated out without any preparation. So we're going to fix that. Here we go, you can see. And we'll get this neatened up. Actually, because it's black, it doesn't actually look too bad on first sight until you put your hand on it. And we'll get that sorted all along here, the arms, and get it all neatened up. There's been some sealant put on here, but you can see how it's been put in from here, facing in this direction. The person hasn't turned around and put it in this direction, you have to go in both directions. There is a coating here. This isn't so bad. It's doing its work, I guess. But it's not a very thorough job. And we're going to make it look better and seal it a lot better. Just a second after video from the middle. So it's really coated. Before that wasn't done, and you can see a lot at the front that's already been done, but I still need to do by the wheels. I've done all the seals thoroughly. The top of the floor pan, chassis rails. There's quite a lot of cover on this vehicle. There we go. So yeah, lots and lots to cover.
So this is the total amount of rust that's come off Max's chassis by Simon and Rust Doctor, aka. So I'm going to weigh this now and see how much weight this is going to reduce it by, or how much it weighs. So just bear with me a second. I'm going to use a pair of old-fashioned scales and then convert the pounds and ounces into kilograms. So this is the first load. So on a conversion, that's 29 pounds or 13 kilograms of rust has been removed from Max's chassis. Yay! So let's do a review. So this outside light, I'm not sure if I've done this with you before. This one is by Cleaner, outdoor solar light. And I looked at several solar lights on eBay and Amazon. This one came out quite good. I think I bought this one on Amazon in the end. I'll put the link anyway, they're about the same price. And it comes in a quite tight box. It's got quite a lot of LED lights all round the main part here. And then you've got this PIR on sensor on the front. And what I've done is I've used some magnetic strips on the back. Originally I had this on the back of where the door is, and when I went away to Shropshire, it worked very successfully. Very sensitive, because if I opened the back door myself, it was above the door, it would come on immediately, which is quite good. And you've got various settings. You either have a high setting, I think perhaps it won't, it probably needs to be charged up actually. Yeah, it doesn't work at the moment, it needs to be charged up again in the sunshine. It's probably lost its effect, or it's not dark enough in here. So, but I think it's about just over £20 maybe, this one. I'll put a link below so that you can see what, but it's quite robust. It's made of plastic. It did actually one day, it did fall off because I had to secure it with two of the magnetic strips, which are the other bit of this goes on the camper. So it did fall off, and then it did break a bit there, but it was on the road, tarmac near the drive where my house is, and it still worked, and I took it away with me and it was fine. So that's certainly recommended, and that's quite a nice one. So that's the made by a company called Clearer, CLA, looks like ONER. 360, it goes 360 degrees, and lights on there. One pack of heat resistant, frost resistant and waterproof, it says here on the back, on the packaging. I quite believe that, I think it probably does. Very, very nice, and I keep that in the locker on the front of where the toilet cassette used to go. Sits in its own box, so that's that one. The other thing is that I saw some other lights that I quite like the look of. Oh, here we are, it's a little leaflet with the one I've just shown you. And so yes, motions in here, get all the features in there, so it comes with its own instruction booklet. So I think that's quite nice actually, I quite like that one. I'm going to put that on the front of the cab, on the bonnet of the truck when I'm away next. If I'm somewhere there's no street lighting or it's very dark, if you want to see coming up to your vehicle, that's quite good. Then I had this box myself. This box originally had a nice bottle of port in it from one of my bosses many years ago, and I've drunk the port a long time ago, but the box itself I've lined with felt, and so in here I've got several bits. So the first thing is that I've got these very nice LED magnetic type strip. These are the magnetic strips on here, and they can be stuck onto the wall, and then you can magnetize onto there. They have a cover on this end, so you can, and this one probably will work if I switch it on. So if I put it on there we go. You might be able to see that. You've got different settings as well. It's probably a bit too bright in here for you to notice the difference, but it is actually very bright. That's the brightest setting, but probably in here you probably wouldn't notice it very much. This is made of a metal construction, and it's a USB-C charged, and quite a lot of, it's got a high vis on this, so it's quite bright. And one of these I've already fitted to the back, where the back door is, where this one originally went, but this is now there because it's brighter and it's very good. And so you just literally put it up, and then you can take it down before you drive off. I wouldn't drive around with these, though it probably lasts all right up there. But and then the others, because it's magnetic, I'm going to put them onto the jacks, because the jacks are made of metal, and then you can just put them onto the jacks and they'll light up. So I've got 4 of those now. So 1 on the back, 2 will go on the front, and I'll take those bits off. So yes, all very good. USB charging, lasts quite a long time, PIR, and they go in this very nice box which I've lined with felt and has a lid on it. There we go. And then I've got a strap, elasticated strap I'm going to use. So you get these pieces that you can stick on and then have a sticky thing on the back, but they're quite good actually, they're quite firm, so I'll just keep those by in my workshop in case I need anything. So that's those 2 things. The other thing that's come this afternoon from Amazon is these rather nice, I think it was Amazon, or was it eBay? eBay, I think. Very nice cones, and I only ordered 2 and they've sent me 4. Don't ask me why, I think they've packed them wrong. But these ones are pop-up type, so if I open this up, you can, a good 18 inches high, and I think they're quite fun. There we go. So if you're in a campsite, there we go, can you see that? If you're on a campsite and you need to have space behind you, or you happen to break down, heaven forbid, you've got these in your vehicle. So I'm going to put 2 in the camper here and 1 in my other 2 cars, so they're all going to have 1 each as an emergency. Strangely enough, I found a very nice snow shovel, collapsible snow shovel, in my local charity shop, all for £2. So I thought I've also got that in Mondi, my Mondeo. So that's but this is quite good. I'll put a link to these if you're interested. And then they collapse down quite easily. One-handedly, it's not quite so easy, but there we go, like so. Let me just put this down, the camera down, and let's have a look. Here we go. There we go, fully compliant. As I say, I've got, probably the only thing about these is they are fairly substantial. They're quite made of plastic, but you might want a bit of weight in them, because if it got very windy, I think they could probably take off like Mary Poppins, I think. So I might be thinking about finding a bit of metal or something heavy just to put in here, as well, just to make sure they don't move anywhere. But they go under the back seat of the camper truck, so that's something else that I thought was quite good, quite helpful. As well. And the last thing I got was this collapsible hose, and this thing here again was from the local charity shop, all of £3, one of those collapsible types. It's quite long, it's just in case I need to fill the tank up after I've got to a campsite, and I've got a universal other end to a tap, and then because it collapses, it doesn't take up any space. And this came in this very nice bag. Oops, sorry about that. The lights are rebelling. Came in this very nice bag, which I'm trying to show you before I was interrupted. Very nice bag, and yeah, like a string, like a shoe bag, I suppose. There we go, and that goes in the locker outside. Piece of cake, really. The last thing was just to say, because of the weather station, this comes with this very nice piece here, which you can then, I've put a magnetic connector on that, goes outside, and that then wirelessly has a wireless connection to the weather station, which gives you everything from humidity, inside temperature, outside temperature, And I think it's very accurate, because with the analog one I've got, it works perfectly. They're both the same. They're telling me the same temperature, so there's something in that. But this lives outside, normally in the locker. And of course, because that's on the outside of the vehicle and it fits in the box very nicely. Let me just show you that. There we go. Fits in the box. There we go. You don't actually have to put it outside unless you want to. You know, if you forgot to do it, it wouldn't matter and you want to know. Because some mornings when I was away in Shropshire, we had a frost. Believe it or not, we had a frost, and I couldn't see out the window because they're all frosted up. But I thought, oh, I wonder what that's all about. So yeah, it was about minus 5, minus 6 out there. But it was early part of the sort of spring, really, I suppose. Yes. So and on that basis. That's the end of today. I've just got some polishing to do, some other bits to do. Oh yes, the other thing is, yes, I mentioned I'm going away to Sandgate, so you will come along. I will do a blog about that. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you think. Look forward to seeing you all very soon. You take care. Bye for now.